feel I was lucky in a way that at the point at which all that stuff happened to me, for some reason, I determined to allow the event to have its effect on me, whatever that was going to be. And so I ignored anything in me that said I should be this way, I shouldn't be this way, I ought to be doing this, why do I feel like this, I ought to feel like that. You know, I just completely said, let's see what happens if you just leave it all alone. And so that, of course, was quite a roller coaster ride, because I was unbelievably angry, I was unbelievably sad. Sometimes I forgot about it altogether, and then it's like, oh, that's interesting, I didn't even think about it at all today. You know, it's just like extraordinary journey. And I find it's quite a challenging thing to do, and looking at other people, I see that people don't want to do that, they don't want to leave it alone, they have lots of ideas about how to manage it, and it's completely unmanageable as well as I'm concerned, and trying to manage it is just hell. So I went through this roller coaster ride, and it did last quite a long time, but it didn't last forever, and I felt that it did, you know, a lot of the things that I was trying to achieve, if you like, personally, in terms of where I was wanting to go, came about as a result of that. Actually, the experience itself changed me in ways that were very helpful and increased my confidence and my independence and my all sorts of things, you know. So my advice, you know, if somebody is facing any kind of difficult situation, in a way, the worst thing I feel to do with it is to try and manipulate the truth of the situation, if you like, and not just accept what is happening. It doesn't mean it's great, it doesn't mean that you like it, anything like that, but it is what it is. And so, you know, trying to fit yourself into some idea of how you're supposed to navigate it is just like torture, I think, and not helpful. Funnily enough, at that time, I think probably the thing that was driving me along looked like, and my experience of it was anger, funnily enough. I was just very, very angry about a lot of things, you know, in a way that I'd never been before.
Angry
at life, at, you know, the NHS or something, you know, anything really. There were so many things that were wrong around me at the time, as far as I was concerned, wrong, you know, I didn't like them, that I was very angry, and it created a kind of bloody mindedness, if you like, in me. I mean, it doesn't make a very good, you know, nice story, but this is what happened anyway. Created a kind of bloody mindedness whereby I was going to be me, whatever it looked like. I didn't care what it looked like. Yeah, so I'm just going to be me, simply, right? I mean, I'm not very good company. I'm not. It's tough, you know, and that was quite liberating in my experience over time. I stopped being angry eventually. It was the good news about it. It did go away, but you know, but that kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it did propel me forward at that time. It was just like, right, you know, I'm just. It's like I've been going along in one direction, right? I'm going off this way now. You know, it's like a completely different direction to go in. You know, almost like the other way, in fact. So interesting. I mean, yes, there's nothing great about losing my daughter. You know, it's a curious situation to find myself in. At this point, I can look at the death of my daughter, and I honestly don't feel that I can say it was good or it was bad. It's no longer that, because so many good things have happened as a result that it's quite confusing, really. Of course, there's nothing good about the loss of the daughter. You know, it was a tragedy. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But now I see it much more as it's just what happened. Just something that happened, and these things happen. And I'm pleased that so much good has been able to come out of it. I took a choice. You know, when my daughter died, I mean, you know, some people have an instant like that, and then they just want to just write, okay, I'm done with that, I get back to my life, or we're going to do something completely different and try and forget about that. I consciously took a choice which meant I had my head in it all the time. So it was very intense, the early period, because there's no getting away from what had happened, because it was being shown to me over and over and again, and still we have, this morning I went and showed our little video about the charity, and she's on there talking, so I get this all the time, and it still has the same effect on me in one way, it's still quite emotional, but it's but that's all within the context of the fact that I say I don't feel it's good or it's bad. It's just what happened, and my response as a father is, yeah, it's quite upsetting, of course, and it still is in a certain way. But I'm not upset about it 24/7. Just sometimes.